We all can understand that fear of not having enough money. But what happens when your association has too much money? Here's an unexpected story about an association that went from being 42% funded to being drastically overfunded within 10 years. This is what happens when you focus solely on your process in pursuing success and forget about your goal. Okay, well, let's talk about a different association now, one that I'm going to call Pursuing Success. And this is a fun scenario for me to be able to show you because it's another large association, a little bit smaller, built in the 1980s, again, place with a bit of history, a couple of pools, basketball court. It's a full ownership residential association. It's not age restricted. They've had reserve size with us since 2014, $1.4 million annual budget, so significantly smaller place. Home value strong in the 600,000 or just a little bit under range. And the same kind of profile. I want to show you our engagement history through the years. And what I like here is it's nice and clean. Sequence of reports and a with site visit update every third year. That's nice, that's smooth. That gives them a combination of the diligent with site visit, on-site inspection, yet the tweaking, the low cost, no site visit update tweaking that they get to stay on track, to be able to guide their budget. Remember, reserves is perhaps one of your largest budget line items. And this follows the pattern that we see. CAI released 2 reports lately. One was aging associations. They said there that a with site visit update every third year is best practice. The National Reserve Size standards that were released earlier this year say that a with site visit update is best practice. And you may have read the news. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac now want to see reserve size occurring every third year. So this is a good standard pattern, something for you to learn. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Well, it's interesting. They started their journey with our firm at 40-some% funded. 40% is in that middle zone where actually most associations reside. And they took this seriously. The board of directors had a vision for where they wanted to go. And once you know, they strengthened their reserve fund and they overshot. And you can see they're up to 136% funded. And right now they're on the way back down. They are stabilizing. Trying to stabilize closer to the 100% point, which shows you that momentum factor. If you're not careful, you can overshoot one way or the other. So we tend to encourage a more careful, more gradual approach. So there's not overshooting or undershooting. And you can see a lot of stability here. Look at our recommended funding through the years. 360, 361, 395. Down to 367 for a few years, tweaking down 342. Here we are clearly recommending lower reserve funding to try to bring them down. And again, stable but lower. And same thing, stable but lower. Look at what they've been doing. They've been more drastically dropping their reserve funding these last few years. I think there's a pretty reasonable chance that since we've been recommending 350, and they're doing 300, they may drop down to the 80 or 90% funded range next year. You want to be careful with your hand on the helm and guiding the association forward. The homeowners are looking for you to have a stable hand to guide the association forward. Now, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of overshooting, but that just shows a little bit of the journey that they've been on. And again, same kind of thing here, the dollars per home. Talking under a couple $100 per year. So what's that? $16, $17, $18 per month? Not a lot of money to maintain their common areas. And there's no special assessment column here. Never needed to be a recommendation of this association. So lessons learned, strong reserves. It's not expensive to fund reserves at your association. It is a significant chunk of the total budget, 18 to 25%. That's where they were through the years. One good thing is that with their strong reserve funds, they were able to spend a little bit extra to convert a basketball court to a pickleball court when it was time to resurface the basketball court. Now, it's nice to have a little bit of extra cash to do some nice things for the association. And because they were doing regular projects, they were paying on time, they had the cash, they were able to get preferred pricing from their major vendors. And that helped them minimize costs through these last few years when there was high inflation. So that helped them control costs. So a lot of good things happened from this association. And it started with the board having the vision and then following the plan and then helping their association have a stronger reserve fund that allowed them to do some good things. At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.